We'll get started here. Obviously, not what we planned from the opener. Disappointing start to the season. Obviously it was a different opener than most. Probably playing some of the opponents we played in the past, you might squeak out with a victory, but not against a good ACC opponent that we didn't get it done. But we closed the book last night with our kids in here, and when you go back and look at the tape and reevaluate it, I feel really no different than what I felt Saturday night, midnight or whatever time that was. Really when you look at it, it's a lot of self-inflicted wounds as far as what we did, not what they did. You don't look at it and go, wow, we just got overplayed or outmatched. It was just carelessness, I would say, on our part. Just details that you fail to get done, whether it's on the sideline and getting it out there on the field, whatever it may be. Just details, and again, it started from the coin toss. I mean, we lose the coin toss. They get it, whatever. We get pinned down inside, and we go 3 and out. And it just started the field position war, which we lost by 222 yards, field position. And again, we never gained it back. Their average field position, I think, was a 41. Ours was a 22 or something like that. I mean, we lost it by 222 yards. We've only lost it one time in my time here. And it was 225 at one point. So, hard to win the game when you lose a field position by that. 3 and outs, way too many on offense. Didn't get enough on defense. That contributes obviously to the field position. Turnovers, whether it was a block punt or an interception, those cause problems there, or turnover on downs. I mean, their 3 touchdown drives were 19 yards. They scored 3 touchdowns. 19 yards, 27 yards, 29 yards. That's their touchdown drives. We'd love to have that field position, but we weren't afforded. Our 2 touchdown drives are 85 plus. And, so when you look at, keeping a drive going. So, again, I don't want to say that's a gift. I give them credit, but that's kind of what it was. But it comes down to the details. Guys making plays on the ball, whether it's on offense or defense. I mean, we dropped some passes, obviously, that are critical. A couple on 3rd down that move the sticks and changes the whole part of the game. We don't make plays on the ball when I think we can, in good coverage with some PI calls. Turn around and get your eyes on the ball. Tackles, decision-making, all those details. So I think that's all plays a part of what really, we got, what we asked for on Saturday. But it's a learning experience. We got a lot of new guys out there playing for the first time. I mean, when you look at your O-line and, the 2 guys that have played before played good. The other guys that didn't, have starts before played like you maybe thought they might, or you're hoping for more than what you got. But overall, I think it's a learning experience for our kids, and we'll make more improvement from week 1 to week 2 for sure. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And and then you got Ohio U coming in here. I think it was 1-0 football team picked to win the MAC. Frank Solich is a legend. And he's a legend, from his years back at Nebraska. The guys had a great football team, even when he got let go of Nebraska. If you guys remember, I know Jerry remembers, some of the younger people. I mean, the guy never should have got let go. There, probably one of the biggest mistakes in Nebraska history is letting Frank Solich go. I'm still pissed about it. He was a legend there. I don't know if it was 8 or 9 wins when they let him go that one year, like they expected to win 12. But great football coach. Their offense starts with Nathan Work, phenomenal football player. I think he completed 73% of his passes last week against Rhode Island. He's accurate. He's smart. He makes good decisions. I like what I see out of him, and he can run it too. He's nifty and can run. They'll run a lot of quarterback keepers, and they'll run some option pass with them. They do a lot of different stuff, and it'll be a big game for Frank Solich, who's from Johnstown, PA, if you guys didn't know that. So defensively, Javon Hagan, I believe, their safety number 7, stands out on tape to me as a baller. He flies around and makes plays, and so it'll be a challenge at 11 a.m. on Saturday. That's for sure. Again, preseason MAC champion. That's who they're calling for. So we get lucky enough to get them. So questions.
When you look at the pressure that Virginia generated on Saturday, how much of that was, just their guys executing? How much of that was, holding on the ball too long, missing blocks? I assume it was a little bit of everything.
It's always a little bit of everything, but they did run a blitz that we didn't expect. They ran it quite a few times. I don't think our new guys seem to always be on the right side. But I don't think our new guys reacted to it as well as we need to. And again, it's throwing the ball on time. We had guys open more than you can think, and we just got to make better, quicker decisions and get the ball out. So it's a little bit of both.
I know you talked about the field position. How do you evaluate the way your defense played, given that they had those short fields?
It's hard because I'm still pissed at them, But how do you evaluate them? It's hard. I mean, when we get in a sudden change situation, we want to stop them. 0 points is great, but when you got the ball at the 29, the 27, and the 19, field goals are what we want to get. And it's hard. Now, again, when we're backed up, they have a 53-yard drive and whatever, 10 plays, and they end up kicking a field goal. But when they're backed up, we don't want to give 0 points. So it's like, we gave them touchdowns when we want to give them field goals. We gave them 3 when we want to give them 0. So to me, the evaluation is 1 3 and out on defense ain't good enough. And, again, quarterback made plays, give them credit. I mean, it made some catches. They had some drives kept alive by some great coverage and the yellow hanky coming out. So, just one of those nights. One of those nights.
A lot of new guys on the defensive line. I mean, how would you say they did in their first test on the field?
A lot of new guys. I tell you what, Deslin played really, really well. We were impressed with him, and obviously he's the new end that was taking over for Rashad. He played well. Inside, Devin Danielson played well. A young guy that, maybe played 10 snaps. You said new guys. I'm trying to think. Obviously, Twyman's been in there. Who? Haba played solid. Haba played, what we kind of thought he would, and very, very encouraged with Haba as well. Any other new names that I'm forgetting?
Green got in there.
Bentley Green got in. Again, we're solid near the end, so they were good too.
Is there any concern about Ohio being somewhat of a trap game because it's sandwiched between a division opponent and then sandwiched then Penn State's following it?
I worry about every game being every game's a trap game. Virginia was a trap game, an opener like that, and we just got to be ready to go. We're focused on one team, as you guys know, and how if you put the tape on, is good enough to whip your tail. They're well coached. They've been there for a long time. I mean, he's been there, I think, 15th season. He's got his system in. He's got his kids there. They're sound. They're disciplined. They don't do too much, but they're very good at what they do. So it's a trap game. They're all trap games. Every week, every Saturday is a trap game.
Frank Solich said this morning that he's very appreciative of the help you gave him when you were Michigan State. You helped maybe too much.
Did I help him too much? Probably. Jim Burrow is a good friend who, was the defense coordinator. So we've always talked, and I've always been, comfortable sharing football with other guys around the country. So we've done that. We've had our fair share of stuff we've gotten, and so Jimmy's a good football coach. So is Frank Solich.
How did the team respond after looking at the film?
I think you kind of, when you come in here, I think they responded really good, Larry. It's like I said, what you see is what you get when you watch the tape, and it's not what they did, the other team, it's what we did. So I think when the way you respond, Larry, is you look at it and go, I see it. If you got smacked in the mouth and you weren't in position to make a play, then you wonder how they're going to respond. You watch the tape and, receivers are getting locked down, can't get off a press, can't get open, but that was not the case. There was guys open and opportunities to make plays, and we just didn't make them. So I think it's encouraging after you watch the tape, you go, oh, I see what happened. The defensive guys get encouraged by watching the other side of the ball going, oh, okay, we got a chance. We just got to make plays. And if we're going to, throw the ball like we did and open it up and try to throw it early instead of just running it every down, then we got to make those plays to keep the sticks moving.
Is there an advantage at all that Mark Whipple, when you at UMass the last 2 years, went up against Ohio and did pretty well?
Is there an advantage? Is there a disadvantage? I don't know. It might be one of, what is it? Again, the difference between, when Whipple was at UMass, he was there with the cup, he was there for a few years. And, they played the last 2 years, so there's an advantage maybe for them because they know what Whipple likes to do. They've seen it for 2 years in a row. There's kind of which one is it? Whipple knows them maybe a little bit on defense, but they also know Whipple, where they're not going to be, surprised, I guess, of what he likes to do against what they've done in the past. Now they got a new D coordinator, so you take that into account as well.
That was in the Virginia locker room after the game on Saturday. One of their players, and was Blunt, said that they knew that if they got in Kenny's face, that he would be frazzled was the word that they used.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel there was a cumulative effect on that pressure, and how do you sort of get him to? I mean, he took a lot of shots, and get credit to Kenny's stuff.
Yeah. So did their quarterback. He took a lot of shots too.
Right, but I mean, that quarterback didn't throw 2 picks.
Yeah,
Yours
yeah.
did.
No doubt about it. No doubt about
So
it.
how do you sort of get
Threw him up.
Kenny to hang in there when he's getting this, when it's a tough
Well, I
physical
mean
match?
that's what quarterbacks do. They take hits and they get back up. And Kenny's a tough dude, and we don't want him to get hit like he did. So, the big thing is protect it. Big thing is half those hits, the ball should already be gone, and we shouldn't have that problem. I don't see it as frazzled. I just see it's still a guy that's maturing as he gets into this new offense and learning from what he needs to do. And I think when Larry talks about watching the tape, what do you see? I think he's one of those guys that can see how much better he can be. And it's no different from Jersey scrimmage 1 to Jersey scrimmage 2. Our guys, it's just kind of the same progression. It's game day. The lights are turned on in Heinz Field, and I've told you guys that for 5 years, that it matters when the lights turn on, and we got to see how guys respond. And that happened in every phase, especially with some of the new guys that maybe hadn't been in that condition before.
Can establishing the run game kind of help out Kenny and take a little pressure off of him?
No question about it. It definitely can. I mean, the run game can. We got behind the sticks. You get a punt block, you give them short field, you're behind the sticks. I mean, in the fourth quarter, we threw 17 times, ran it once. Well, that's a time you can't. I think it was 24 to 19 run to pass early. I should say pass to run. 24 passes, 19. Before you even got to the fourth quarter. But when you're behind, you end up throwing it. So those stats kind of get watered down a little bit. But we had guys open. We got to hit them. We got to catch it. That's what it comes down to.
How do you think the backs did when they were carrying the ball?
Not bad. I mean, obviously we didn't get enough. We got behind the sticks. And again, it's hard for Kenny. I mean, you see when Kenny, to go back to the quarterback, it's hard for Kenny when you go 3 not to even get in a rhythm. You don't even get in a rhythm. But when you saw after a first down, all of a sudden he gets in a rhythm, then he becomes pretty good. But it's even hard to be a play caller. You can't even get into, mixing things up when it's 3 and out. You're back on the sideline. Then you got to start a whole drive over again. Like, what are you going to do now? I mean, third down's so critical. It's a key to victory every week. Is we got to move the sticks and get into a rhythm offensively, but we never got into a rhythm. And when we did get into those rhythms where we got a first down, something happened, then our guys went, and then you could see Kenny's feet were good in the pocket. He got more relaxed. So I really don't think Kenny got frazzled, especially when he came back and did what he did.
What did you like from that second quarter when the offense really started to get going that you can build on the next week?
What did we like when?
Second quarter.
Second quarter? Again, it's just they got to understand we got to make plays, and if we're gonna throw you the ball, you have to make plays, and I think that's just what I kind of answered. What I like is the sticks were moving and we're making plays, and then they're getting comfortable. It's hard to get comfortable, and Bostic can probably tell you that when you go 3 and out. And then you sit on the bench for another 2 minutes and then get back up and go. It's when when the game got into flow, we started getting some first downs. That's what I liked.
Kenny did make some plays with his feet. He also took some shots when he tried to make plays with his feet. As a
Right.
coach, how do you sort of weigh that against him? And I really like.
He did get out of bounds one time, but he's a tough. He's tough. Now he's he's never had an injury problem, but he didn't want to wear knee braces this year, which I was okay with. I mean, it's kind of like Kenny, And he said, Coach, most people that wear knee braces have knee problems. I'm good. And let's again, I knock on a lot of wood there, so he wants to make plays with his feet, and we'll continue to do that.
Outside of changing your alarms, 11 a.m. start, I mean, is there anything you have to do differently with that?
Not really. I mean, we're a morning practice team, so alarm's about the only thing.
We saw that Vincent Davis got in there for a couple carries. Is he a guy who this one's going to play more than 4 games, or what do you think?
It's too early to tell, really. I mean, we wanted to get him in there just to see, do we want to give him more than 2 reps, and just to give him a chance to go run the football. I mean, just to see what would happen. And he did okay while I was in there. He didn't panic. He didn't, do anything crazy. We'll just keep evaluating that. We won't know until after 4 games. When he plays 4 games, we'll decide is he going to play 5 or are we shutting him down? And that depends on how the other guys do too.
In yourself, Scout, do you think maybe you might want to run the ball a little bit more early in the game than you did?
Again, we can always look back and say that, but when I see all the open receivers, if you put the videotape on, you're saying, gosh, throw it to that guy really quick, let's go. It's hard to say. If you had to go back and say it, maybe if you knew we wouldn't throw it to the guy that's open, yeah, let's just go and run it. It's easier to do this, for sure. But when you see open guys, you're going, man, we had a chance to make some big plays.
Quarterback play is obviously so important to the game right now. The MAC conference seems like there's always 1 or 2 guys that are really at the top of that position in there. How do you coach in that conference? You coach against them. How do those schools continue to find all these good quarterbacks that end up going to the NFL or be at the top of college football year in and year out?
Yeah, I mean that's the story of the Mid-American. I mean, I was fortunate enough to be there with Big Ben Roethlisberger, but I mean, there's good players out there everywhere. There's plenty of them. That's why I said those 2-star guys, those 1-star guys develop into players, and they play enough years and they play within the system and don't try to do too much. Nathan's he's a ball. I mean, he's got a great arm too. So I mean, it's just goes to show you, those stars and the 6'3" guy compared to the 6'1" guy don't really matter. He's a football player.
Is there a benefit to playing 2 mobile quarterbacks in a row after seeing Perkins last week and Ward this week? Do they do similar things? Or?
Yeah, they do similar things. I mean, there's a lot of similarities. So yeah, I mean, but that's the life in college football now. Everybody's just spread it out. Quarterback zone read keeps. I mean, Nathan loves to run the zone read. Especially out of 3x1s into the boundary. I mean, he's a good football player.
You got into it a little bit with your mill. How do you done a lot more? I know how.
No, a little bit.
What made you decide?
I'm the head coach. Coach Whipple likes it. I like it. I think it changes the tempo of the game, puts people on their toes. Just don't want to go 3 and out with it. Want to eat up a little bit more clock and get down the field and get some first downs. But, it is what it is. It's what we see. It's great for our defense, too. So it's where college football is going, or been.
When you look at this is a little bit off topic, when you look at the NCAA as a whole, there's a lot of transfers now that are getting waivers to play right away. You filled the roster with graduate guys mostly. Is that, I mean, as you see guys at quarterbacks now, especially, it seems like they can be here one stop and go to the next stop and play next year. What's your philosophy on transfers, and is that something maybe if it looks like it's going to be a little more open, is that something that you would?
Yeah, I think it's going to be more closed in the future, but we're just looking for good football players. Not necessarily, we don't care what their age is. It's not a matter of he's got 1 year. We just want 1 year grad transfers. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the best players that fit what we need. And I think there's always a risk too if you're not sure if he's going to get that waiver. There's I don't know if it's 50-50. Seemed like early it was a lot of waivers, and then they shut that stuff down a little bit. So I don't know what the percentage is right now, but for my meetings in the NCAA, that's going to get kind of closed down. They're talking about changing the rules where everybody's got to sit out, and we'll give you the year on the back end. You won't lose a year of eligibility sitting out. You'll get it on the back end, but we're not going to give it to you now. So I don't know where that's going. But that's what the NCAA seems like they want to do, and the coaches want to do it as well.
And for 2 more new starters on the defense, Kylan Johnson and Paris Ford, how do you think those 2 guys?
I think both of them did really, really well. I'll start with Kylan, just start up front there. He made some nice tackles. He's very sound in what he's doing, especially for a guy playing his first time here in a new defense. So I was really, really, really happy with Kylan and what he did. And then Paris Ford, first start, at the safety position, maybe his first start, I guess here. I'm not sure if he started at corner in the past. I know he's played there, but I was really, really happy with Paris. He had a nice, I've told you about getting turnovers. That guy, did the same exact thing when he ripped that ball out and unfortunately went out of bounds, and he scrambled, off the tackle, off the strip to get that ball on a 3rd down. That's what he does in practice every day. That's him. But I was really happy with what Paris did, overall in the day. Maybe had 1 missed assignment, which, that's huge. With what he's doing, and he's just going to get more and more comfortable every time he walks on that field. I mean, that's the good thing. In Virginia's offense, man, there's a lot of stuff they do. They don't, they're not a simple offense. They do a lot of personnel, a lot of different formations, a lot of motion to empty. There was a lot of things for a first-time starting safety, but you love his attitude. That guy's a football player.
I remember when the pass defense had some issues a few years ago. You were like, "Hey, we're going to play man, and we're just going to keep." I try to believe in my guys, and now there wasn't a lot of breathing room for their receivers on Saturday night. And I know you're not happy with the penalties, but I mean, what about just that group in general? Their maturity and development over time.
Yeah. Again, we want to make plays on the ball. That's the one thing I wish get around. You got them. It's like I told the safety or the official at our sideline, like, hey, he can't get off the press. What you mean? We're right there. I mean, tell the guy to get some separation, then it won't be a hold. I mean, it's not like there was any separation. I was like, the guy's going to be in the NFL next year, and you're going to call a penalty on him because the guy can't get off. It's not his fault because there wasn't any tugging going on. It was just, he just all over him. So I don't know what you do. but I'm happy with that group. I mean, Damari Mathis had 2 PBUs in a row, 2 big PBUs. So I was happy for him. And Jay Pinnock did some great things as well. So all 3 of those guys are starters, as I said. They rotated through the game and did a nice job.
Anything final? Did you come out of the game clean as far as eye work is concerned?
We're waiting for one evaluate. You said for the what? The I word. We're waiting. We did. Overall, yes, except for we're waiting on one evaluation still to find out. But we'll find out hopefully shortly.